Hello, friends. Welcome to 5 Minutes with Reverend Lotson. I am glad to be with you again today, and I pray that the Lord will richly bless you. Today, I'd like to share with you two very important principles for marriage that would help couples resolve their conflicts or their crises or their misunderstandings before it turns into a war zone. The first one is the principle of presumption of innocence. If you hear something about your spouse, or if you suspect something about your spouse, it is important that your first reflex is to presume their innocence. The principle of presumption of innocence means that you don't judge or conclude on your spouse until you have verified the story and until you have confronted your spouse, until you have proof beyond all reasonable doubt that your spouse is guilty. When you manifest the principle of presumption of innocence, it helps you not to blow issues out of proportion, because sometimes little things happen and we conclude that our spouses are wicked, that our spouses are trying to do us harm, that our spouses become the younger brother or the younger sister of the devil himself, simply because we failed to give them the presumption of innocence. And sometimes we quarrel, we insult, sometimes we ghost them, sometimes we shut down and break communication for something that was not even true, only for us to realize later that this thing was really not what it seemed. And the second principle I'd like to share with you today is what I call the principle of non-presumption of intent. The principle of non-presumption of intent. What is this principle? This principle simply means that you don't assume the intention of your spouse. It simply means that if your spouse does something, for example, she was trying to pass and she stepped on your toe, you should not burn with anger and say, I know you had always wanted to hurt me. I know you are always looking for the slightest opportunity to make me feel pain. No. You must apply the principle of non-presumption of intent. You must understand that sometimes your spouse makes mistakes. You must understand that sometimes your spouse can or will make mistakes. You must understand that sometimes what your spouse does or what happens was not intentional. So get yourself to the place where you apply these two principles in your marriage. Number one, the principle of presumption of innocence. And number two, the principle of the non-presumption of intent. Don't always attribute a bad intention to the actions of your spouse. Sometimes it's just a mistake, and oftentimes it was an honest mistake. Like they just even wanted to do you good, or they wanted to be of help, and then they backfired. The Lord bless you. May His kingdom come in your home as you shine in Jesus' name. Love you all. Shalom.